All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Tuesday, April 16th, set today by Philistine. So let's see what they have for us. Suit forever, question mark. Is it a double definition? I have a feeling with a question mark it's going to be a little more than that, a little more cryptic. Suit. No, not seeing it. Masterful. Play on radio 3 to start with. I'm thinking the definition is going to be masterful. And even though radio 3, of course, goes so well together, I think it might be play on radio. And on the radio is often used to indicate a homophone. So something that sounds like a word, that means play. Now, is it a dramatic play, or is it the verb to play? Or even the noun if something has a bit of play in it? And then I'm thinking 3 to start with. Could that be a way of indicating the starting letter of 3? Which means this would end in a T, masterful. Ending in T. No, I'm not seeing it. Let's see what 8 down would be. No, is that no 5 or number 5? Prepared and cooked in the oven. Prepared could indicate an anagram. Ooh, so maybe the 6 letters of 5 across plus NO will be anagrammed and make a word for cooked in the oven. Yeah. Not sure what that would be other than roasted, baked. No, not seeing it. All right, let's go back to the acrosses. It's raw food if it's cured badly. So I think badly is going to be an anagram indicator. Was it simply it's cured? Otherwise, it could be food if it, which is cured badly as the anagram indicator. I don't think so. That would be very strange letters with 2 F's and 2 O's and 2 I's. Now let me pause and see if I can work out an anagram of it's cured. That might mean raw food. All right, I see we have crudités, which never really occurred to me they're raw, but I suppose they're usually just vegetables, right? So I think that's good. Now let's try these downs. Professional indoor court. It could be the definition is professional, but I wonder if it could be court. No, because professional would probably be pro. Indoor court. No, not seeing it. Not going for Greek character in song. Well, I wonder if it could mean not going, as in broken, or just or maybe just not moving still. And then we're going to put a Greek letter inside a word for song. Well, we have a U. Could it be mu? What other Greek letters have a U in them, in their name? If it was mu, not going. And what's a word for song? Tune, air. not seeing it. Checkup, before noon, first folder. Well, before noon, I'm thinking is going to be AM. Could this be a word that means checkup? That begins AMI, I for first, maybe? And then something for a folder. Of course, it may not be a noun folder. It could be, or well, it could be a noun, but somebody who folds. I don't know. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. What? Thinking about someone who folds, I'm thinking about someone who does origami. Let's see, what would that be? Origamist? We do have our AM. Ooh, and then we have one, our IST, which could be first. Ah, and the first four letters backwards are gyro, which is some kind of a check, CHEQUE. If that's right, that's very strange. They would be using the American spelling of check, but it goes up, and then we get someone who folds paper. Oh, that's clever, but I wonder at 15 squared if people will be complaining about the American spelling of check. All right. Gathering information for coach that should be here anytime now. The phrase should be here anytime now doesn't seem like wordplay, so I think that might be the definition. I'm thinking of something like due imminently, but gathering information, what would that be? And for coach, is that coach as in a bus or a coach as in a team manager? Yeah, no, I don't see it. Preparing food and clearing up afterwards. Ooh. Something the dishes? Oh, it could be clearing up afterwards. What would it be? Wash the dishes? Clear the dishes? No, clearing up is in the definition. Ah, the clue. But I do wonder if that could be the dishes, because I can see how that might be part of a phrase for preparing. Oh, what do they? Well, I think they just call it plating up, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing that, but I think I'm close. Let's just do a couple more downs. Quirks expose report of deceptive people. No, I'm not seeing that. And there was our no 5 that I think is going to be an anagram of no plus the letters in 5 across. All right, back to the acrosses. Pay attention and join the army in the wrong order. Ah, well, if you join the army, you enlist. But if you put those two syllables in the wrong order, you get listen, which is pay attention. All right. Dries the dishes. Something like that, maybe. Agreements of EU board. Ooh. I think it's going to, oh, yes. So actually it's a type of board. um, yeah, a very specific type of board that will have two words of agreement from European languages, and that is we and ja. So Ouija is the answer, I think. Now our professional indoor court. Oh, yeah. So for some reason, I think because I have the C and I know that court can be abbreviated to CT, I thought maybe we have to, maybe that indoor is being very misleading. We put the court literally inside of door, and that would give us a doctor who is a professional, or should be anyway. And now our suit. So a suit in the game of cards is diamonds, and diamonds are forever. So I think this is due something, and not going. Greek character in song. Let me pause and think about that one. It occurred to me that the song might be an aria, and I didn't think the Greek character would start with the U, which meant the aria would be here. So again, I was thinking, excuse me, of Mew, but then I realized there is a medical term. I just checked it here on my phone, anuria, the absence of urine formation or inability to urinate, and that is not going. So a cheeky definition there. So nu is the Greek letter, not one I would think of immediately. All right, let us go back to the acrosses here. Change into home gear first to get disguised. Well, it could be disguised as the definition, but I'm thinking it's change into, which could be in a nature sense. One animal changes into a new form. I'm thinking home is often in. Gear first could be the G of gear, first letter. And then to get disguised, we put a word for change into home, and the gear meaning to get disguised. Yeah, something like that, I'm thinking. All right, cause of delay, if rejected, gets the guardian in terrible mess. I think the definition might be cause of delay. Just because terrible mess, I'm thinking might be an anagram indicator, maybe for guardian. Guardian is 8 letters. I'm thinking if rejected, this might start with FI. The guardian, maybe the guardian plus in. And what would a cause of delay be? No, not seeing it. Not better informed on either news broadcast. Well, broadcast can sometimes be, I think, a homophone indicator, like on the radio, but I think here it's an anagram indicator. The letters are cast around broadly. And let's see, we have 12 letters. Either news is 10, on either news. I'm thinking not better informed could be something about wiser. Oh yeah, none the wiser. Is that a an anagram of on either news? It looks close enough. I'm not going to stop and check it. All right, some crossing letters, not great ones though. Couple of E's, couple of N's. Legal, to chase police officer, capturing mafia chief, involved in wrongdoing. Well, the mafia chief has to be Don. So we're going to have Don somewhere in the middle of this. And it's either going to mean legal or the opposite, involved in wrongdoing. But I think I need some more letters. If we got one of the letters of Don, we would know where it lands within the word. Finger, pointer. First thing that comes to mind is index, which is one of our fingers. It's the one we use for pointing, but I'm thinking an index in a book maybe points you to the right place. You would put an X as the second letter here. Sounds like size 0 is too much. Sounds like, so I think pretty obviously a homophone. Size 0. I can certainly see a word that means too much beginning with EX, extreme, X something, too much, extras. But that doesn't sound like size 0. No, let's talk about northern fancy. I think we're going to put a word for talk around the end for northern, and we're going to get a word for fancy. What would talk be? Speak, chatter, chat. Let me pause and think about that. Well, the word I was using as my Wordle starter for quite a while is orate. And around the N you get ornate, which is one way of being fancy, I suppose. Basic, being into each other. I think it's going to mean basic. And we're going to maybe put a word for being into something for each other. Oh, could that mean an anagram of each? Another form of each? No, I'm not seeing it. Repeat once more, only half botched. Could it be encore? But I don't see how the wordplay would work. How about think again? About idiots in press getting rid of extremists. Okay. Well, a word for to think again I'm immediately thinking it's going to begin with re, and then seeing idiots, I'm immediately thinking of asses, which could be part of reassess. And the asses are in res, which is press, getting rid of its outer letters. Yes. All right, going back to the downs. Due here any time now. I think that's the definition. No, still not seeing it. I still think this is something the dishes. Oh, that would put an I here for finger pointer. So I'm going to put in index, and we'll see if the crossers agree with that. That was the quirks. Expose. Report of might be a homophone of deceptive people. Yes, a deceptive people are liars. So we have a homophone of that. And to expose something or somebody might be to out them. And so outliers, I suppose quirks might be things that fall outside of the norm, could be quirks. Yeah, I can see that. I'm going to skip 8 down. How about half cancelling old fashioned entry after a person one knows? Oh my goodness. Oh, a person one knows might be the definition. I'm thinking of acquaintance. Is that going to fit? Is it ANCE? Old fashioned. Oh, I think old fashioned is quaint. And then half cancelling might be the ANCE. After half cancelling old fashioned entry after. Yeah, I'm not quite getting the wordplay fully. I do think old fashioned is quaint. Entry. Yeah. So, and after A, so the first A is okay. It's that C, and then the ANCE. Yeah, so I think it's just the first half of cancelling, which is the CANCE, and old fashioned or quaint enters that. So that's where the entry comes in. All right. Wild dance to the end of love story. I don't know if that's a reference to Leonard Cohen, Dance Me to the End of Love. Wild. I'm thinking it might be an anagram of dance to plus the end of love is an E. So let's try that in the anagram helper, dance toe. All right. Oh, anecdote, of course, is a story. I love a good anecdote. Anyway, so that's that. Reminder for musician on vacation on irregular income. Oh, we sometimes see regular meaning to use every other letter of a word. Oh, but I think here regular is an anagram indicator. The word musician, if you vacate it, you remove the inner letters, you're just left with M and N. And then if you anagram income, you get a mnemonic. Always have to think carefully before I say that word, mnemonic, which is a reminder. Well, it's more a way to remember really than a reminder, but let's not quibble. So now our legal to chase police officer, capturing mafia chief, involved in wrongdoing. There is some word for legal I'm thinking of, but it's not coming to me. No, not seeing it. How about, oh, I did say encore for repeat once more. So it definitely looks like that is right. Only half botched. I mean, repeat once more could be the definition. And no, sorry, okay. The definition is simply repeat. And then we take the letters in once and half of the letters in more. And we botch them or anagram those, and we get our encore. All right. Think I would dine on eggs to start with. So I'm thinking it means think. I would is I apostrophe D. And so immediately I think of ideate. And so to dine is to eat, and eggs to start with is the first letter of eggs. All right. So too much, of course, I forgot about excess. Sounds, oh, extra small XS. So it is a homophone indeed. Now, some chocolate ripple, not now. I didn't know they had chocolate ripple. I remember raspberry ripple. So I think this is a fairly straightforward hidden clue. I know the crossword experts often say that the clues, the last clues in the puzzle, are when the setter has maybe run out of energy a little bit and they go for more straightforward clues. And so just one tip if you're new to the crossword game, the cryptic crossword game, is maybe start with those last ones and see if you can work backwards from that. Ooh, how about complicit? So it's not a Don. Mafia chief, I think, is the first letter of mafia, which is the M. Complicit. To chase police officer. Police officer is a cop, which captures the mafia chief. And legal is licit. Now, we don't often use that word. We more often say illicit. And if you're involved in the wrongdoing, you are complicit. All right. Now our basic being into each other. I'm still thinking basic is going to be the definition. Could be an unword. and something being into each other. Now, I'm going to, I think, take a look at the wordplays.com site and see what letters, 8-letter words, follow this pattern. There's probably quite a few. There is the word inchoate, if I'm saying that right, being in a beginning or early stage. So that would fit the definition of basic. Oh, also that H, of course, I did want that to be dishes. So that supports that. But let's go back to the wordplay. Being, it is an anagram of, I think I said each might be anagrammed. Each other, it's into each. Wow, other. So I don't know if I've seen that before, other being used to indicate an anagram, but I did suspect it. So I must have seen it sometime. All right, where to next? Oh, we have a nice C in 4 down. That certainly looks like an ENCE ending. Due. Oh, how about doing your due diligence? It could be gathering information. For coach, that should be here anytime now. Oh my goodness. I'm just checking, first of all, if it's an anagram. Definitely not a hidden clue or a homophone, no. So it must be a charade of some kind. For coach, that should be here anytime now. Well, maybe it's wrong, but I don't know. What other 2-word phrase begins with due? All right. Let's leave that. We'll check 15 squared later. All right, so how about 14? Cause of delay, if rejected, gets the guardian in terrible mess. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to pause and check wordplays.com for that one and see if it does begin with an F. Well, it is a funny word, but I should have thought of it. So it's either filibustered, but it says cause of delay. I think then filibusterer. I've never heard of the person who does the filibustering described as a filibusterer, but that would make sense. So number 5, prepared. And, oh, sorry, let me just talk about, see if I can work out the wordplay. I can certainly see the first 2 letters. That's what I thought from the beginning, was that it starts with FI, but then gets the Guardian, which of course doesn't have to be the newspaper. That could be trying to throw us off the scent. In terrible mess. Oh. So we have libusterer and terrible. Oh, there is an anagram of terrible. And the Guardian is the Guardian newspaper, and so the setter is referring to it in the first person plural as us, which is in an anagram, a mess of the word terrible. Okay, well, that also helps to confirm the R is correct. All right, I really want to get this no 5, so no plus the other letters, which means we have a GN and an R in this one. Masterful. Oh, a G and an R anyway. G and an R. And a play on radio. On radio. Yeah, not seeing it. This one prepared, and then the definition cooked in the oven. I think it's going to be some dish that I'm just not familiar with. There is a bird, a tanager, but I don't think that's it. So let me see what this might be. No, I'm thinking that G must be wrong, even though we have the I. All right, let's try this again then. Change into home, gear first, to get disguised. Yeah, well, it could end in IVE, something like that. I'm going to put the H in there. That has to be something the dishes, preparing food and clearing up afterwards. Yeah, not seeing it. All right, let me think again about this masterful play, and that T, of course, may not be right. Just see if I can come up with anything, a word for masterful. Well, one word that was there, like skillful, is adroit, which is an anagram of radio. A play on radio is saying to anagram radio. And then it was the T is 3 to start with. So now I think I know the letters that need to be anagrammed are adroit, N-O. Oh, a tandoori is cooked in the oven. Yeah. All right. All right. Oh, so now 13. Oh, incognito. I like that. How does the wordplay work? So obviously, get disguised or disguised is the definition. Change into, I think you just change the word into, and then gear first. And I think the 2 then at the end is simply 2. So I think you anagram into, in, excuse me, and the G. So, and then add the TO. I think that's how it works. All right, so now, doing the dishes, of course, yes, is doing the washing up, doing the dishes. All right, let me check all. Yeah, nothing has dropped out, thank goodness. So I think this is the first time in quite a while that I've managed to solve all of the words without yeah, I don't think I used the check this. Oh, maybe I did earlier, but yeah, without having to reveal any. So that's a win in my book. All right, let's head over to 15 squared. All right, today's blog is by Lunapic. When I saw the Q, the X, and the J, I thought we were getting a pangram. So I think that's a crossword where they use all of the letters of the alphabet. But we must have been missing a few of them. I thought the definition of due diligence was a little weak. Oh, A solver was expected to know what a diligence was, which I have no idea. Nuria, a bit obscure. All right, so I think, yeah, 13 across. Just wanted to check. Cog is the gear, not the G of gear, but the whole word cog. Into, within, cog, nita, and then the anagram. Okay. Uh, Filibusterer can be the cause of delay. And then, yeah, this due diligence. A diligence was a European stagecoach. Oh my goodness, how many of you knew that? And if you knew it, is it only from doing the crossword and then maybe it's come up before? Oh, they do mention check would normally be spelled QUE in the UK. So let's see if anyone complains about that. New for me. Never heard of gyro. So Jeff in Australia, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, so there were some tricky ones there. Less keen on the check equals gyro. KVA. Can't see why the US spelling is used except that the surface works all out. Yeah, I would agree with that. And then discussion of Diamond is Forever was written in 1947. Wow, so before the Bond film. All right, well, that was enjoyable, and I'm very happy to have finished it pretty much on my own, of course, with some help from wordplays.com. Anyway, I do thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.